Welcome into the era of AI. In this lecture, in which we're going to go ahead and create an annual calendar. So let's get right into it. So we've actually already created the daily tasks planner, weekly tasks planner, monthly tasks planner. Now let's create a calendar. So let's click here on create a design and go to planner. And then what you want to do is to just come around here, look for a calendar, right? So there's plenty to go around. Now, the one that we need is for 2024 because we want to be recent. And so let's click here on design or select templates. Now, if we look for calendar, let's see. Normally, we should go for the yearly calendar. And a good thing is that we already have one here. And I think that's a pretty good one. So I'm going to go for it. I'm going to click. And then there's two different ones. I'm going to go for this one right here. Actually, on second thought, let me go for the other one. And let me click plus. All right, so it replaced the old one. And as you can see, this is not completely 100% spread across the entirety of the image. No, but actually now it is good. But these ones, I'm going to eliminate them because they don't really look that great, right? And then let's change the fonts. As usual, we need to change the font. Now, we're going to go for our beloved font that we have used ever since the beginning, which is the old Story Bold. And of course, this should go down a little bit. Or probably we can do something interesting. We can maybe increase the size of this just a little bit and place it on the other side, right? Like this. And then duplicate and then come around here. And this one, we can maybe change it to 45 in size. And I'm going to write year or monthly calendar. And let's spread this across to put it in one line. You can select by using this particular selector and get it closer to 2024. Now, I purposely made 2024 look bigger on purpose, of course. And now let me move it aside here, and let's move this one as well. And I think that we're doing a pretty good job. Now, for the rest, I'm going to select everything. You have to also understand that if you change all the fonts here, what's going to happen is that these are going to be misplaced. So these little numbers are actually going to be misplaced, which can botch everything, right? So in my honest opinion, I'm going to go back one line, and I'm going to select only the months. Only the months. Well, first off, we need to ungroup because I think that these things are grouped, but I think I can change the font from here. So I'm going to change the font, Old Story Bold. Click Change All. Now all of them are changed, and you don't need to do it yourself. Now also, when it comes to these, I'm going to select them as well. Change their font into Old Story Bold. Change all. And it's going to change everything. Let's see how that looks. It's going to take some time because there's a lot of days. And I think they did a pretty good job, right? So they even changed the numbers pretty good. So it's important to make sure that you don't do anything wrong at this particular phase. And right now, let's go ahead and add a touch. So if we look on design for calendar, I think we need to find a template where we can put this. Let me go to graphics here. Now graphics, well, let's go to photos instead. And let me see if we can find some interesting templates. Calendar template. Let's see. Okay, I'm not sure if there is anything interesting for us here. What I'm looking for is something like this. No. Let me see. This one. Also a big no. Let's click this one here. I think this one is pretty cool, but it's not going to fit our size. So we're going to go old school. We're actually going to go back and just look for a graphic instead. We have some graphics here. Now this one, no, doesn't look that great. Let me see. Calendar page. Instead, let's look for a calendar page. There's plenty of pages here. All right. Okay, so we have some pages, but nothing that I'm looking for. So I'm going to actually look for a page instead. Let me see. Page. Okay. All right, let's see this one here. Doesn't look that bad. Okay, so I think I'm going to apply this, not to the entire planner though. Let me see if this is going to fit in with this size. Let's zoom out. Let's see. Hopefully it's going to fit in. Yes, it does. So it actually fits into everything. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to basically place it in the center. All right, like this, and then position it. Now it's going to take us quite a long time. Backward, backward, backward. Let me zoom in. And we need to decrease the transparency of this. Right, so the transparency of it is quite big. I think we need to spread it across the entire page on second thought, because those holes out there, they're just making it look worse. So let me spread it gently across, and we can leave a space. Right, and I think that this is much better, though probably we need to go a little bit more. Okay, monthly calendar, we have the months. Now what we can do, we can basically go for elements, and we can select a shape, right? Some shapes, or you know what? Sticker, post-it sticker. Let me go for post-it sticker. And I have a weird idea. I'm not sure if it's going to work, but let me take this, for example, and we can use these to engulf the plan. I'm not sure it's going to work. Let me try some other stickers here. Now, this is, of course, all hypothetical. If it doesn't work, then we're just going to move on. But adding a creative touch to your design makes it all the more great. If we rotate this, we might have a better chance. Right, let me rotate it like this. Make sure it's 90 degrees. I think after rotating it makes a little bit more sense. We just need to increase the size just a little bit. And remember that you can crop. So you can select, for instance, double click, and you can crop a tiny bit to show April. And then from here, all right, I think we can just leave that. And then from the bottom, we can crop a slight bit as well. And now we have our sticker. And you can also change the color of the sticker. So, and transparency. So let me change the transparency a slight bit, maybe down to 90. I think that is good. And then let's position this backward, 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 backward. Now it's backward. I'm not sure if this is good. I'm going to increase the transparency. Position it forward from the page itself. Forward a little bit more. All right, backward now. Okay, so I think it does look quite good, right? Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate one more and place it right here. Like this, make sure they are both aligned. And then we change the color. So let me go for a different color this time, maybe yellow. And then position, backward. And then as well, duplicate one more, places very intelligently right there. Let's change the color of this one to green. Not that green though. We have to go a little bit softer. Like this, and then position it backward. And as you can see, it gives a pretty good look. And we can do this for only 2 rows. I think that's pretty interesting. Let me duplicate. I'm not going to do it for the rest of the rows. I'm going to do it just for a slight select few. And then this one, this time, let's change the color to something else. Let me try the blue color. Position, backward, forward. And then the color needs to be a little softer. Let's soften it. I think that this is pretty good. Okay, and let's do it for more. Let me duplicate. Place one here on the side. Make sure it's centered like this. And then you can change the color. Let's try this type, yellow, for example. No, actually already done that. Let's go for this color, but we have to make it gentle. And then position it backward. And finally, we need to duplicate one more, place it there, and then now all we need to do is to change the color to something else. Now I'm going to go this time for maybe this one. And I think that this is good. Needs to be softened up a little bit. So let me click on the color here. Soften it up more. Position backward. Okay, and I think that this is pretty interesting, right? So Yeah, I think that this is pretty good. So now that we have our planner, now on the top, I think it would be interesting to add maybe a piece of paper like this one. I'm not sure how this is going to go. Let me try it. If it doesn't work out, then I'm just going to eliminate that. I think on the other hand, the design is pretty good. Okay, so let me just slightly move this down. And as you can see, I'm going to go for color. Now it's already white. And now we can select this and probably increase the transparency a little bit so that we can see through it. And I think that this is pretty good, right? So we have our monthly calendar. We can offer this as an incentive for free. There you go. Let me click here. I'm going to download this one with a transparent background because it's good looking like this. And when people print it, it's going to have that vibe. Like it's going to look like a page stripped out of a book. And so, yeah, so right now we have our monthly calendar. We have basically everything. In the next lecture, I'm going to show you how you can create these particular mockups that go with the listing, right? And these are not so difficult to create. So we're going to create these mockups as well as a short explanatory video. Stay tuned for it, but first we have to create the mockups. Let's do the mockups first, and then we can focus on the video. Keep learning, keep mastering all of the AI tools.